The topic for today is surveillance, IP surveillance growth, and how do we define it? How do we measure ROI with the IP surveillance growth that we see today? So there is a lot of talk going on for defining value, ROI, saving from IP surveillance systems. The question is, can you measure ROI? What systems are there that can return money to their investors? Are there really any such systems out there? Now, what one means here is getting value in terms of savings, which is associated with these systems. The matrix of the system, the ROI, would depend, I think, on product, application, and project specifically, on who will be using the system and what will the system actually accomplish. So the question pops up again, is there any matrix or measurement of determining ROI on the IP system? Well, I would say there is no set way of knowing that. However, depending on your project, the questions that will lead you to saving money with IP surveillance system are to know if the product fits the application, if the product is compatible with the rest of the equipment, and if the product is simple to install, program, and use. What type of warranty and support does it come with? If it's like a 9 to 5 on-site support, or if it's a 24/7 support, if it's a robust system that will last for years. One of the key approaches that helps is to categorize requirement into a chart of must-have and like-to-have features that we will discuss later in this presentation. This chart here looks different for each product, benefit categories. Its purpose is to match benefits and requirements to cost. Benefit categories like a safety cost reduction, business cost reduction, security cost reduction. These are the savings which are associated with benefits derived. When you are talking benefits, for example, in terms of camera, its features embedded in the IP camera processor like motion detection, region of interest, cropping and masking, network auto discovery, analytics. These are all examples of such benefiting features. One more example of this is the email notification that cameras send, for example, for an IT room to its IT people. Now we are assuming this is a shared space, a multi-purpose space here. So these notifications which are sent to the IT people, it helps them to keep an eye, keep track of who is coming in and out of the room. In many such projects, there is no need to record videos. The cameras are just made to take snapshot email and send to the selected IT people. Here, they do not have the occasion of using recording, mostly for anything. Now, I would say that this is high ROI. This is where you get saving. Having reliable analytic motion detection. So events like opening the door, turning lights on, detects the motion and takes a snapshot. So when camera saves time for safety investigation, that will be safety cost reduction, I would say. The other good example to cite will be IP storage. The traditional DVRs that are pre-built and tested right out of the box units, they function with very little interaction from the users. However, there are also potential drawbacks to be considered with a standalone DVR model, such as expandability or upgrade. Now, if there is a need to expand the surveillance system to accommodate, for example, additional camera beyond what it can currently handle, most likely a new unit needs to be purchased in such situation. Some hybrid DVRs, though it can handle IP cameras, yet they have limitation of scalability. NVRs are scalable and they can give optimal performance too. So depending on the project, like I said before, the total cost of ownership of complete system should be taken into account. Here we can also compare the cabling of IP system as against the analog system. cabling is 3 times more expensive in analog than an IP system. This is because separate power cables have to be used with analog, whereas in IP system we use Power over Ethernet, PoE. So it is necessary to include the cost of labor, as it is a significant cost of the total job that is done in a project. So mostly the larger the system, the more favorable cost of IP-based system, I would say. So when you're doing your calculation, it is very important you take into account the totality of all costs incurred today and in the future. This will actually determine your value and savings from the system.